Hey, what's up, everybody? Cedric here. CRWC commentary. We will be reviewing Friday night SmackDownish, and it's SmackDownish because I don't go into detail on everything, and sometimes I don't even talk about something because it's just that lame, boring, or meaningless to not just me or the audience, but even to their own product. So let's jump into this. So the show opens up with Cody, and I like the T-shirt. It honestly would be great for Halloween. I thought it was nice. Hey, I like glowy stuff. If there's some glowy, I like it. I want to like Naomi, but she's a failed glowy. I'm just saying. You're going to see that later. But he looked like he came to do business. You know, he wasn't in his banker outfit. So, you know, I mean, it makes sense because what happened to Randy Orton last week, he's going to want some retribution on that. So he says Kevin Owens crossed the line, and I don't know why he asked him to come out. And he was very polite about it. I'm going to ask you to come out. I'm like, dude. So then, you know, the music doesn't play. Then Cody puts some bass in his voice. He demands that he come out there. Then Nick Aldis, he comes out instead. So Aldis, you know, he does a great, Nick Aldis is just awesome at whatever he does. National treasure in terms of in-ring performance and whatnot. He hadn't had the best storylines in the NWA, but he's doing great here in the WWE. But he did a good job at talking about why the Power Drivers banned from WWE, stating that they don't want their talent ending up in wheelchairs in 20 years. Now, I'm gonna tell you this: that is a Jim Cornette reference. That is a knock at AEW and all the other indie shows. I'm just letting y'all know ahead of time what that was. It was brutal. Squeaky chair for the win. Okay. So, Aldis informs Cody that, look, Kevin isn't here. And Cody mentions Kevin drives a Lambo. You know, and I was like, really? I was like, so what's he sitting in? Because that can't be a Lambo. That's got to be one of his other cars, or rent a car, or whatever they got set up for him to do these things in. And he says that doing this for Kevin Owens only helps his bank account. It deepens his pockets. And all this, like, I want the problem solved internally. Now, anybody that knows business reference, rhetoric, and whatnot, that means is corporate. And I like how you can see it struck a nerve with Cody. I like that. So when he said internally, I admit, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm caring about this segment anymore. Because that hit that sour taste, corporate stuff. And it's not necessarily corporate, it's just business. Just, you know, we're not gonna do it the right way. It's gonna be private, quiet, sweep it under the rug. And not even you're going to be a part of it. You need retribution, but mad to you. So, okay. You can see Cody put on a different persona. And he seems to talk real. And he was like, you know, you want all this. I know what you got to do. I know the suit. You know, you got this position. But I want to talk to the wrestler. You know, he wanted him to have empathy. And Cody reminds him of being, you know, hey, look, I was at WrestleMania 40. I was on Randy's shoulders after I won. He put me down. He was like, hey, Code Man. And you know I loathe being called Code Man. And he said, but it was a great moment nonetheless. And after that, and it's like, you know, he has to call Randy's loved ones and be like, I don't know how your dad's or your husband's or whatnot, his neck is. I don't know how he's gonna be, if he's gonna walk or anything. And I was like, okay, getting good. And then he tells him, I gotta do this, and all the while, Kevin Owens is going out and telling everybody that it's Cody's fault. I was like, yeah and no. And, you know, a good heel can twist the truth to the point where you just don't know. A good heel will use the truth in a working way to make themselves not only look a bit insane, but make the audience be like, I wonder. And that's exactly what Kevin Owens did later. And I like it. And as much as the people are going to hate him, they're going to hate that Kevin Owens touches on a few things that even everyone else has felt at some point in their life. Whether they've been on the receiving end or the beneficiary end. So, next segment, we find out that the original gangster's bloodline, see, OG means original gangster. O-R-G, I think O-R-G-N-L is original. That's how that works. So when you put OG, go back in the day, original gangsters, it was a movie and whatnot. OG, triple OG and stuff, that's what that eventually turned into, streetwise. Yeah, OG, original gangsters. So when I see OG bloodline, I'm like the original gangsters bloodline. That's what I'm gonna call them. They met up backstage and set up a later meeting with Roman because Roman wanted them. And Jay says that they'll need a fifth man for War Games. Sammy mentions he may know someone. And since I don't know all the history and knowing Owens isn't there, he's not going to go talk to him. So I admit I'm a bit curious. Let's see. After that, Bailey it's a women's three-way. Bailey versus Candice LeRae versus B-Fab. And I think they said this is B-Fab's first wrestling match or something. I don't know. But it's for the Women's United States Championship. It's a tournament. So it's going to be all three. It's three ways and then singles. And it's like, let's showcase all the women and then have Bailey win in the end. That's about how I see it. So anyway, it could surprise me. Candice LeRae has been in a hit and miss. B-Fab has never been. So, and I just took down these few notes that Bailey hit a picture-perfect diving elbow drop on B-Fab. It was beautiful. Way too many setup moves for me to care for the superplex body press stunt. So I started skipping. Bailey pinned B-Fab, and I suspected, and she moves on. Now, look, keep in mind, these women are fighting hard for a secondary title. That belt will fall to the wayside as just something to have it. That's WWE's gonna do that. You've got your main champions, you got all this, you got a lot of women that you don't use well, and then you're going to put a secondary title for the women you don't use well at all. That's what it looked like. That's what it translates to me. What do y'all think? So, in any case, backstage, they show Sami Zayn talking to LA Knight in a losing effort, and I thought about a very old PlayStation SmackDown game where it would be the commentator say, I wonder what those two are talking about. That was one of Cedra's favorite games to watch. She enjoyed that. Watching me play that, really pathetic creative character. I don't know, I think I was a space alien or something. Just a pre-made outfit. You couldn't really get much else. So anyway, next is pointless Mean Girl stuff in the back that went way too long and skipping was not getting it done. So then we got LA Knight who comes to the ring for an open challenge match. I worry it will be someone he's already dusted off. The fans chant his name, which is good because they love some LA Knight. Knight doesn't care to fight the bloodline, and he doesn't care if all of it implodes. I like that. Stay out, stay clear. So he addressed Sami Zayn. Knight isn't going to be like Logan Paul and defend it twice a year. And I'm like, it's slated Logan Paul be making his return to WWE. I'm like, don't talk it up. I do not want to see more of Paul and Knight. I just don't. That part of the Attitude Era was what really bored me. Just seeing the same people fight each other relentlessly. And they did a good job stretching everything. I'm not going to deny that. But me personally, I was like, well, we've seen this song and dance. And you see it escalate, and then it goes dead, and then they escalate it again. I was like, come on. So, and Logan Paul is someone I do not like. I do not like this guy. In addition, yeah, like he said 2 times a year. Okay. You know, so I don't want to see that. You know, as a heel, because he's a natural heel, Logan Paul is amazing on the mic. Him and his whole thing with Kevin Nash, that thing, yeah. How can I say this? I got my feelings about it, and I got my feelings about it. I guess I'll comment on that somewhere separate. I don't know. Y'all, let me know in the comment section. You want my thoughts on Logan Paul and Kevin Nash, even though that's an old topic as much anything is after it's been over 5 hours. It's an old topic in this world now. But you know, let me know in the comments if you want to know, if you want to hear my thoughts on Logan Paul and Kevin Nash, that whole thing. And trust, it's not going to be a match. They're not doing that. So then, music hit. And I'm like, okay, it's the Hispanic team coming out. That's all I thought. And then it's like, okay, it's Legado del Fantasma. They come out. That's the name. Okay. And Escobar is their leader. Okay, so. And he tries to browbeat, and I was like, say something cool. And he gets booed and all that stuff. And I'm like, you just challenged LA Knight to say something cool. Look, I've been watching LA Knight since he was in the NWA, and even a little bit before that, I think. So he's never lost for words. And so, and I thought they have way too much talent to cycle back to Escobar. Way too much. I was like, this is what I came in on, him and Escobar. Good grief. So Knight calls out Escobar as already defeated. Good. But he wants the guy who wants to fight him most, because the dude next to him was like, man, you leave me alone with you for 5 seconds, I'm going to stab you in the throat. He looked hungry. He looked like, look, it ain't the belt, it's your spot, and I want it. That's how he looked. I was like, this dude is staring a hole in this dude's soul. LA Knight need to watch out. So Knight, you know, he closes his promo. I'll beat you like your daddy, but the only one who can call me daddy is your girl there, which is Elektra. And with Elektra calling me daddy and the other guy screaming uncle, he'll have everybody saying his name. So, okay. Now, eventually they say his name is Alberto or Berto. Is he I don't know, he's something. He's Alberto or just Berto. I don't know his name. They barely mentioned it, I think twice. But this is a match. Berto hit a perfect, beautiful missile drop kick. I mean, you could take a master class on how he did that. That was just awesome. And he went for the pin. Logical. Knight hit a double jump elbow drop, hit the BFT, got the pin. At one point, Berto, as they called him, he did the O'Connor roll, and when Knight kicked out, he took, I think, 1 step, springboard, rolling kick. Awesome. I was like, this guy is the guy that they won't let wrestle, at least on SmackDown. Okay, so y'all just proving y'all just won't stop messing up. And I was like, this guy does not need to be in Legado. But it was a good short match. We both looked really good, and they call him Berto. That's all I got. And after the match, I was like, who's the ninja in the ring? And then, you know, LA Knight caught some skibbity paps. He got laid out. And then it's Nakamura Shinsuke or Shinsuke Nakamura. And I'm just like, okay. He said he was going to be back. It's been a while since he said that. And he's going to shake things up and he's going to yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I wanted him to go home to New Japan, just like everybody did right before he even left. But going on the state of New Japan, I don't know. I don't know. Next we get the original Gangsters Bloodline. They meet up and go in the Roman Reigns dressing room where they're going to meet. So the whole segment was to watch them go into a room. Okay. And I get what they're doing. They're chopping it up. But so next, Roman comes in late to his own meeting, sits down in the chair with his back to his own people. I was like, whoo, that is showing that nothing has changed, as Roman said. And logically, it should be a matter of time before he's alone. Because as much as, let's see, Jimmy is like, I'm still with you. I acknowledge you. Sammy is like, I really don't want to go through all this crap. I don't want that drama. And Jay is like, if you disrespect me, man, I am out. And then he disrespected him. He said, look, that's your one. That's your one. You're going to treat me like your cousin, not like you my tribal chief. He said, we're equals. And I'm hoping Jay can stay to that, because when he sat down with his back to him, I said, that let you know your place in Roman's world. I was like, I don't know if this is bad writing. They got something in plan. I don't know, but this is not good optics. You know, where do they want to steer Roman? Are they trying to keep him heel babyface right there in the middle? They can go either way. They need to switch him full babyface and just sit in the chair. Everyone sit down. He sit in front of him. He look at him. He is the leader of the group, but he needs to face the group. He needs to acknowledge the group. Like, I want everybody to acknowledge Jimmy. And he made sure he's very babyface. And now it's like, yeah, my back's to you. I don't get it. I don't know what they and or he or all of them are trying to do. The writers, it's just bad optics. So Sammy's the one that has to inform Roman. We don't have a fifth guy. We just don't. And Jay says, man, you got to make the call. And before Roman can say anything, Solo's music hit and they show him on the monitor coming out. And I was like, this is pretty cool. You know, Roman gets up quiet and leaves like, man, like, I'm sick of this. And I like the way that he did that. Like, I've seen people do that so many times. Like, I am sick of this. I'm finna go handle my business. So in the ring, Solo wants Milwaukee to acknowledge him, and, you know, boos. They boo. Roman's music hit, and there it is. Maximum acknowledgement. I was like, every single time, I'm like, good grief. I'm waiting for this to grow old with me. It's just not. Both sides are there. This and you know, the OG bloodline, the original gangsters bloodline, they roll up, they get on that apron. It's like battle lines are drawn, and you've got the bloodline. It's like, look, we're ready. Jacob is really ready, and they got in and they went at it. I like that. Jacob beat down the Usos, beat them down outside in the ring. Solo. He had Sammy dead to rights. Roman spears Solo to save Sammy. The crowd popped. Sammy's looking like, what? Roman's like, and then Sammy died. Roman's like, have at it. So Sammy dove onto the people outside, you know. And then it was Roman and Jacob. Jacob got most of the upper hand on that. Then Roman attacked. He get attacked from behind by Bronson Reed, and he's gonna be the fifth member. Bronson looked good. He was like, okay, he looked good in them colors. But I'm be honest with you, listen to Jim Cornette, Brian Last called that out, and it was so offhanded. Just, it'll be something. If they need a fifth member, who's gonna be like? It's gonna be Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed. He said it like, it's so stupid. I just threw it out there because it's funny. And wow. I'm like, okay. And so then they had mentioned that Sammy tried to talk to Seth Rollins, and Seth, I don't know what the deal with Seth and Roman, but it sounded like there was some real serious beef. And I think it was the one where they said Seth should have won somewhere overseas, maybe. I'm not sure. So it was like the fans had an issue with it as well. They believed that he was going to be the one to beat him. So I was just listening. I was still listening. You know, like, do I really want to get into SmackDown? Do I want to start reviewing that and whatnot? because I was already interested in the bloodline stuff, and I'm like, so okay, so everyone gets back into the ring and they start brawling, but the numbers are too much. Jacob hit the BME, Reed hit his diving body press that he calls the tsunami. Robin takes out Loa. Tonga takes out Reigns, who throws Superman punches and takes out everybody, you know, and then Solo takes out Roman with the Samoan spike. Then he orchestrates the BME by Jacob, the tsunami by Reed, and Roman sells awesomely. He looked like he was messed up. Good job, everybody. I was into it. I'm watching. I'm not cheering or anything because I'm just enjoying the whole situation. I'm enjoying it. And all of a sudden, just like in the movie, the staff finally come into the ring, but they were shown to be so meaningless. Jacob places the Ulafalo on Solo. He's back. He's telling them the staff to back up, and they do. What y'all run out there for if y'all gonna just back up? Solo, so he put the Ulafalo on Solo. Solo's looking damn good here. He's looking real good. They made him look strong. They need to keep making him look strong. Get him a little stronger. Get him up there on Roman Reigns area. They need to have him so he's able to beat Roman Reigns and it look believable. They need to give Solo a few more moves, some heel moves. Not people just coming in and saving his keister. They need to have him do some stuff. You know, look, I listened to Story Time with Dutch Mantel. I enjoy the stories only because so far he's telling the truth. So, you know, if he gets caught in a few epic lies, I'm like, well, I'm not listening to that anymore. But watch Dutch Mantel. Watch his wrestling. Take those cheat moments from him. Little dirty things to do in the ring. Man, do it. Man, I was thinking Hikuleo would join the family, but I was wrong. Call myself out there. No problem. Now, as I said, Kevin Owens. So, Kevin Owens, he sits in his car and he's talking, saying he showed up at the arena, but he was turned away. Owens was told by Aldis to show up at Salt Lake City next week. Cheap plug, advertisement, because Cody wants it. And he flips out. It's like, the Golden Boy wants it, so it has to be. And see, that's a great comparison. And he's like, I'm going to be there, but it ain't going to be for none of y'all. It's going to be for me. Now, this can paint Aldis and Cody as heels if they are not careful. Because, yes, that's a nice compare and contrast. That's good. Oh, yeah, you come to the ring. No, you can't be here. You're like, what? Why can't I be here? Look, you can't. He's going to be here. We're trying to diffuse this. All right. Oh, all of a sudden, it's about 20 minutes later. Hey, you're going to be at Salt Lake with him. Why? Because he wants it. What? That's like a conflict of interest right there. So they got to be careful. And some people, they appeal to authority. So they'll say, well, Cody is the undisputed WWE champion. Why can't he get his way? It's like, okay. Just remember for you. Just remember, you have that mentality. If somebody is stronger than you, whether it's his status, ability, power, authority, if they say jump, you don't ask how high. You look where they're looking and you make it there. That's what you do. You don't ask how high. You see where they're looking up, you make it there. That's it. So keep that in mind. Next, we get to the tag team match. Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns. Not the Motor City Machine Guns. They are not the Cornette and Last. They keep messing up. You can't call them the Motor City Machine Guns. They're not that. They are Motor City Machine Guns. So learn. So the champs make their entrance, and it's a damn good one. Music, pyro, classic boasting. They did everything right. The fans are like, man. That's what they are, man. And I'm gonna lay out a small short plan that would get them over. And I think they're getting into that. But this sucks. Going on this, look, it's like You served your purpose. You got it off the bloodline. We do not care about you. But see, going on what the fans did with this silence, yeah, like I just said, it serves their purpose, and now they can go away. Oh man, if that happened to everyone, just imagine what would happen. Seriously, if you are someone that comes to the ring, okay, think of every WWE wrestler, mid-card, top guy. As soon as they get about 2 matches where the fans just go quiet, why show up? Just, hey, look, you're going to work NXT or we'll put you in something else, get you paid, get you doing stuff, being active, but you're not going to be on the main show. Just get rid of everyone the fans don't give a damn about. How many would be left? And then who would they beef with? Who would they beat on to look good, to look impressive in front of the fans? Because if the good guys always beat the bad guys, then the bad guys will always look weak. And that's pretty much going to be war games. You really think the bloodline is going to win? Solo's losing that one. And you know who's tapping out? You know who's going to quit? I guarantee you is going to be one of the Gorillas of Destiny. It's going to be one of them. I promise you that. And I'm looking at you, Tonga Loa. I'm looking at you. I'm just saying. So look, Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits. Getting back to that. They did a good thing. It was on the outside. Dawkins pounced Sabin over the announce table. Chris Sabin sailed over that. That was nice. That was nice. And then Tommaso Ciampa, he attacks the challengers, causes a DQ, but actually the match was thrown out. But it should have been a DQ that favored the challengers. He attacked the challengers first. He beat down the Street Profits. That right there is like DQ in favor of the Street Profits because it's like he's helping out the champions. And then Gargano, he breaks it up best that he can. Ciampa shoves him down. Ciampa's like, who made you the boss? We didn't talk about this. I want the titles. I want the belts. I want the belts. Ciampa's got to find somebody. So the champs, they help up the challengers. Okay, Motor City Machine Guns, they help up Street Profits, and they get slapped for their efforts. And the fans is like, kind of yay, kind of huh? So they're trying to beef up the tag team division. They're just in a state of confusion. And that's what it looked like. So you're going to make the Street Profits heels. I don't think that's the right thing to do. You got other tag teams, build them up. Your tag team division, you should have 3 babyface, 3 heel tag teams. And they should be your tops. Your tag team should be almost like your singles. You got enough people on the roster. It's not hard. This is what they need to do at Motor City Machine Guns, and I'm going to make this real short. You need to give them opponents. There need to be 3 heel opponents that will not leave them alone. 3 babyface teams that's going to try to help them out. You have to build them up. You have to beat them down, get sympathy on them, have them fight back, show that they're doing better, beat them down. Not so much of a seesaw, but you can see that they're rising. Have the heels, have them hated, and then the Machine Guns win at a pay-per-view. That's what you do. You have them do it again. Now everyone see the pattern. Now you need a new pattern. Now you need the team that's antagonizing them by attacking their friends. And you only do that once. You only do that once until you get to the pay-per-view. Not saying that segment, but they keep doing it. Keep doing it. And then they say, fine, we'll challenge you. You got our attention. We got you. We're going to fight you. And then fight and defend. Or lose. It will not matter at that juncture. It might be better if they lost. And they lose in a messed up way where the fans are like, no, they got robbed, and have the Motor City Machine Guns. Well, I'm sorry, and have Motor City Machine Guns need retribution and talk retribution. That's all they need to do. And then go after and get that retribution. It'll take them a little bit, but they'll get it and they'll win. Would you like to know more? If you know where that's from, I'm to plug your channel or something. I don't know. Next we get the women's main event. So it's a women's title match, and it's with two people I just don't care about. It's Naomi versus Nia Jax. And I'm like, okay, Naomi, what I tell you, she does great until when? The one before the title match, or if she ever earns a title match, she ain't gonna win that. She's not winning. It's not happening. She is a featured attraction gimmick. She's not champion material. That's how they view it. I see something else. I see a lot. I see a great deal of a good title run. Maybe they're slowly building her up to that after so many months of just, you're meaningless. But anyway, I won't take notes. Then I started taking notes. But I wrote, it is difficult finding interest in a match where it only makes sense for Naomi to lose after 10 to 15 minutes in the ring. I hope the main event leads to something. So, was I wrong? So, Nia did a pop-up headbutt. Can't really tell without. Look, ladies, you got a lot of hair, right? If you're going to do something like that, have your hair tied back. Now, all that hair flinging about, you can cover things up. Yeah, but you know what the other problem is? That's a double-edged sword. You cover things up so no one can see it. So people didn't necessarily react to the headbutt. You listen to the crowd. When Nia threw that headbutt, they didn't know what was going on. They just know Naomi fell and they don't like Nia. That's it. You could hear that. Naomi did a rope-hung standing head scissors driver, which looked pretty good. And then she dove outside on the champ, and that looked a little risky. But then she started punching her against the barricade, so it was nice to keep it going like that. That was smart. That was smart. Naomi did a nice counter Manami roll for a pin attempt to counter the powerbomb attempt. And I had to note, dumbass commentary said she almost stole it. Someone needs to get at them and say, shut the hell up. So okay, rationally, this is what I wrote, but just rationally think, just hear me out. Tell me, how does a babyface steal a win without cheating and using a reversal to score the pin? How? No cheating, no jicatery, no BS, and it's stealing, right? That would be like using your card to withdraw money from the bank and then being arrested for stealing. And I'm gonna tell y'all something that's been done. So I'm just, but still, and you know, the police officers, they were civilly sued because you are not gonna really win an actual case on them. It's got to be civil. It can't be criminal. So Naomi hit a nice hip attack, but only for a 2 count. She won the last time I saw her use it in the ring. Naomi shoved Nia off the top rope, which she tumbled to the outside, which was much better than the boring ass powerbomb spot that they keep doing over and over. Maybe that's Bailey only, I don't know, but I got tired of seeing it. And then she dove on Nia from the top rope, so that was pretty good. They cut to the backstage to see Liv Morgan and I think Raquel, I don't know, finishing off the women tag champions. So Cargill and Belair, they were laid out. Tiffany attacks Naomi from behind. The ref couldn't see it. Throws her into the ring. Naomi stops Jax up top. Jax was, I guess, going to go for something. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, she was going for something, but Naomi got up there. And then Jax countered that, and she planned to do a second rope power slam which would look really good. But Naomi flipped that over halfway through into a throw and only got a 2 count. So Naomi dove on her. She hit one finish. She hit another. She hit not another, but she hit this, which should have been a great counter finish. So Bailey, and I admit when she landed, I was like, I was a little interested. She gonna win, and then she kicked out, and I was like, well, that's the match. I was like, that's the match. You had your chance. Bailey attacked Tiffany, trying to even the odds. Naomi hit the split-legged moonsault, another finisher. Thanks, Rob Van Dam. First person I've ever seen do it. If anyone did it before that, let me know, please. But she only got a 2 count. I was like, yep, I was right. And then I noted I had to put a note. How long will it take for Naomi to lose? It won't even that long after. Just maybe, I don't know, 10 seconds after that. Naomi takes the Samoan drop from the middle rope, hit a finish. Not Naomi, but Nia did, and retained the belt. And then after the match, Naomi takes a beating, but commentary is too busy showing what has happened instead of what is happening. So that was just dumb. So, and then in the back, Roman Reigns gets his cell phone and he says, call the wise man. Massive pop from the crowd. This number is no longer in service. I was like, oh no. Oh no. And so since the number's not in service, Roman drops the phone in utter despair. It's like, I don't know what to do. That was my last shot. See, you should have called when Jay told you to, then you'd already know that the phone number don't work. I'm just saying. But I'm liking this. Because see, now it's like what they're going to do. Now look, before I get up out of here, I thought, okay, I didn't know it was going to be this close to War Games. I wasn't thinking about time and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, you got basically 2 weeks and then it's the pay-per-view, right? Or a premium live event, whichever they're going to do. So week 1, you got to introduce somebody to the bloodline. So who they going to choose? I'm like, one of these Samoans or Tongans that WWE has signed has got to join. And then the week after, that's when Roman's group would get somebody. And then you got War Games set up properly. And like I said, War Games been done 4-on-4 a few times. Yeah. But 5-on-5 was like the original, and all this other stuff. So I was like, what's going to happen? So Brian Last, man, Brian Last proves why I personally enjoy being wrong about things. Because if you're wrong, if I'm wrong about something, there's great hope. Because I think there's too much that's just hackneyed and on repeat in the world in general, let alone pro wrestling. So him being right about this, I'm like, please, not Seth. So it's going to be what it is. I was hoping for something else, and I'm sure Roman, the whole thing was if Roman can get a hold of Paul Heyman will have a good idea of what to do. But Heyman, being who he is, character-wise, his physique, him being out for these many months, yes, and showing up for War Games, which is not and see, I didn't really think about this. I heard, the Jim Cornette and Last, like, he's not going to show up for War Games. It's not big enough. And I get that. I can almost see him showing up or for Saturday night's main event for something to be special. But I can see Royal Rumble. Something happening before or on or during Royal Rumble. So that's all I got right now. So look, if y'all do want me to talk about other subjects and stuff when it comes to pro wrestling, just put it down in there, social media or something like that. I'll try to find it, or you can post a link to where it is, or tell me where it is. I'll give you my thoughts on it. I don't trawl Twitter and whatnot because it just turned vile, and I just could not take any more way before it turned into X. It was vile. I didn't like it. And nothing was happening to me, but I didn't like how everyone else was being treated and how others were treating others. I was like, we're supposed to be better than this. So I will break that to give you an earful of whatever you want me to talk about. So with that, this has been Cedric for CRWC Commentary, Friday Night SmackDownish. And with that, I want y'all to be cool, be chill, be safe, and I'll see you next time.